There's no two ways about it. It's been a totally insane offseason for NCAA wrestling already, right? From NCAAs to early May right now, we've seen major transfers all across the board. And top of mind right now, the University of Michigan, Sean Bourmet. We'll get into what they've just done over the last week. Now, they've added All-American Chris Cannon, All-American Michael D'Agostino, All-American Lucas Davison, and national champion Shane Griffith just yesterday. And Coach Bourmet basically got on the phone and said, hey, Northwestern, I'll take it. Because he took 3 All-Americans from one team, Northwestern. Now, a lot of people can say, hey, is this good for wrestling? Is this bad for wrestling? Is this right? Is it fair? Like, Sean Bourmet doesn't work for the University of Fair. He doesn't work for the University of what's best for wrestling. He works for the University of Michigan, who has tasked Coach Bourmet with putting the best team on the map possible within the rules. Coach Bourmet is following the rules. He's building a better team. And we were picking on our guy, Tyler. Tyler wrestled at Michigan, was an NCAA qualifier there, loves Michigan. And, we were looking at them after this year and kind of picking on, we're like, hey, man, this next year's going to be pretty tough for these guys. We were looking at their returning team points. They were looking like a fringe top 20 team. Now, they've gone from fringe top 20 to guaranteed trophy contender in the span of a couple weeks, okay? And that is just something that was, I've not seen that before, right? That is just totally unheard of in the sport of wrestling. And, whether it's good, whether it's bad, I'm not here to comment on the morality or the right or wrong of it. It's the reality of the sport. This is just the way the wind's blowing, okay? One direction I'm not a big fan of the way the wind is currently blowing is the trend from small school to big school. And we haven't seen that reciprocity there from the big schools, kind of like unloading some of their talent to the small schools. It's happening to a degree, but maybe not quite to the degree you're expecting. We saw App State to Nebraska, Cal Poly to Penn State, Northwestern to Michigan, NIU to Oklahoma State. A lot of the power programs are kind of plucking these smaller, lesser programs that really have to scratch and claw to get guys on the podium, right? Another aspect of this is we look at the trend, right? Let's think about the trend. Which way is this going? Well, a good example of where I think the trend is going and why this is probably not going away anytime soon. Oklahoma, who recently parted ways with Lou Rosselli, they identified one skill set as being paramount, right? This is what they identified. They said they wanted to hire a coach who would fundraise. And fundraise for what? For NIL. They wanted to get in the NIL game in a very real way. They see the writing on the wall there. If you want to have a really good team, you got to pay for it in a lot of ways. And it's not just going to be a scholarship aid. You're going to have to be able to cut a check to these kids. So what did Oklahoma do? They got on the phone. They said, hey, Rob Cole, legendary coach, legendary fundraiser. Look at what he did at Cornell. Look what he's doing at Stanford. They tried to get him, couldn't get Rob Cole. So go to Damian Hahn. Damian Hahn, who was under Rob Cole at Cornell, now is doing a fantastic job at South Dakota State. This is a guy who's a great fundraiser. He built a $7 million facility. He raised $6 million of it, right, at South Dakota State. So imagine what he could do. So Oklahoma says, hey, Coach Hahn passes on the opportunity, it seems. And so they end up with Roger Kish. But this is, and it remains to be seen if Coach Kish will be able to fundraise on that level. But regardless of how Coach Kish will do, ultimately Oklahoma said, hey, this is a priority, right? And that's a big change, right? Most college coaches, when they come in, they want to teach the sport. They want to develop wrestlers. They want to build them physically, build them mentally, and make them better wrestlers. And that is still, and that will always be a part of the job. But the CEO aspect, the fundraising aspect has never been more essential, right? And the teams and coaches that embrace that CEO aspect, that fundraising aspect, I think they're going to see the benefits of that. And the ones that neglect it, I think are going to fall further and further behind. Now, I don't think this level of activity in the transfer portal is always going to be this way. There's a confluence of factors that are making this the craziest offseason ever, right? NIL, obviously, portal being so easily, the releases are easy to come by now is a part of it. But the big aspect of it that I think we're seeing is the COVID year, and that giving an extra year of eligibility to so many wrestlers. We're seeing a lot of wrestlers, exhausting their courses of study. Most of these transfers are graduate transfers. They graduated with bachelor's, sometimes master's degrees, and they're looking, for another year, and maybe they're just going to get a degree somewhere else. And I know some years ago, this is well before the portal was too crazy, there was an athlete that in an ACC school, and he had graduated, and he really wanted to get into this school where he wrestled, business school. And he wanted to get in, he applied, he could not get in. They tried to pull every string possible. And sometimes the standard is the standard. And some of these ACC schools, Ivy schools, the Stanfords and Northwesterns, that's just the way it is. And they're not going to compromise because you're good at a sport, by and large, to get in these graduate schools. So he had to transfer, he went somewhere else, right, and got into their business school. And so what you're seeing is when you see all these graduate transfers, well, a lot of that is a byproduct of they should be done with school and their eligibility should be exhausted. But because it's not, because of this COVID year, they're still around. So when is that going to go away? Well, 2021 was the free year. So think about Carter Starachi. He's got next year where he could be a 4-timer, and he's got a year after that where he could be a 5-time champ. So I feel like we still have a season or two where it's going to be exacerbated because of this COVID year. But I think it's gonna wane to an extent. I don't think it's always going to be this crazy. We're not going to see basically an entire team up and go somewhere else barring a coaching change, right? And that's normally when you've seen, remember back with the Metcalf, Virginia Tech to Iowa thing, you saw Jay Borschel, Joey Slayton, Brent Metcalf, but that was because of a coaching change. But there's no coaching change at Northwestern. Coach Storniolo is still a good coach, and Northwestern is still a good program. It's just I think it's just a factor of NIL, yes, transfer portal, yes, but I think it's that COVID year as well. So I don't think it'll always be this bad. However, I'm not going to make any declarations that this transfer NIL thing is going away anytime soon. I think it's around, and I think the programs that embrace it and that fundraise and get in the NIL game are going to reap the benefits for sure.